Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So, you know the concept of a spirit guide or an animal guide? I think it's kind of like a Native American kind of deal, a belief where you have a spirit of an animal that guides you, protects you, and is kind of somehow bonded with you for life. You can have one or more than one animal guide or spirit guide. And I think that the rule is that the spirit guide chooses you. You don't get to choose it. It'd be cooler if you get to choose it because, you sit around and think, well, what kind of animal would I like to have as a spirit guide? And, I think I'd like to have a wolf. That sounds cool. Wolves are cool. I think I could identify with that. Or maybe like a lion or something, that would be cool. But it gets to choose you. So if a squirrel or a caterpillar, something chooses you, a butterfly, well, then I guess what? You're stuck with a silly spirit guide. It'd be like being in the X-Men, but your powers aren't really all that cool. When I thought about this concept of a spirit guide as I was researching it, I realized that I had had an experience when I was younger that was just like this. I have a spirit guide. So I'll tell you the story. I was about 14. I was off on a camping trip for about a week or so, 7 days, with my mom's boyfriend and his military buddies. He was in, I guess it was the Special Forces. I don't think it was the Green Berets. It was the Special Forces. And he had a bunch of Special Forces buddies. And they did adventurous kind of crap on the weekends. And rock climbing. We went whitewater canoeing one time, snapping these fucking canoes. I had to bring a bunch of extras. I'm like, why are you bringing so many canoes? We were snapping these goddamn things. So they would do stuff like that. And this was a weekend trip to go rock climbing out in West Virginia at Seneca Rocks. And Seneca Rocks is a known rock climbing spot. They have like a sheer face rock area, which is real picturesque and beautiful. But the whole area is real nice. They have a little tiny little micro town and a cool little old general store that's been there for, probably 100 years or some shit. And it's typical Appalachian region way it looks. But it's still mountains, and I really liked it. I've been there a couple times to that area, and I really enjoy that area in general. I'd like to go back there. And we're camping out in the woods and rock climbing during the day. We have a base camp at night, which wasn't too far from the climbing spot. And the base camp was set up with the tents in one area, little cooking area, with the campfire and shit. And then, I don't know, about 50 yards out, I don't know how many yards, but a decent ways, but not too far to where it felt like you were going to kill yourself going there, was the latrine. And we just dug a little hole. It was pretty thick, wooded area where we were camping with little clearings that these guys had made. And, they were rugged, so they like to camp out like that. We could have easily stayed in a more organized camping area with showers and stuff like that, because they have that kind of shit there. But we were just going to sleep out in the woods. I brought a tent. These guys just slept under the stars, just sleep in the dirt, like homeless people. I said, fuck that. Give me a tent. So I go off into the little path that we had made through the brush and then on the end of it was the latrine, and I'm going to go take a piss. And they had dug a little hole, and you can do your business in the hole, And I'm sitting there peeing in the hole, and I had drank a few beers with these guys. They had bought a few beers, bought like a case of beer, whatever it was. So I'm drinking with them, and I'm a teenager, so I really had to piss like a racehorse. And as I was practically running down that path, I had my hand in my pocket, squeezing, so I don't pee myself. I'm sitting there doing my business in the hole. Out of the brush, the head and shoulders and front legs of a deer pop out. Fucking deer. And it's right there. I mean, it's on the other side of the hole that I'm peeing into. And I had to go really bad. I didn't stop. You think that would stop you? No, I'm just keep going. This fucking thing must have been thirsty or something. And it looked me right in the eyes the whole time. We never broke eye contact, direct eye contact. And it was like looking at me like deep into my soul. Like Yoda would look at you or some shit. This was like a wise deer. I mean, it was like a weird moment. And as it was looking at me, it lowers its head, still just keeping that eye contact. And it starts drinking out of the hole. And I was just like, don't do that. That's crazy. I zip up, I'm finally done with my business, and the deer raises its head, still locked in eye contact. We have this final moment, and then it runs off into the woods, frolics off, does deer stuff, whatever deers do. I was really excited. I was just like, man, that was fucking crazy. That creepy ass weird deer just drank my pee and then stared me in the eyes like it was fucking Buddhist monk or some shit. And it was really weird. That doesn't happen every day, right? I go back to the fire pit where everybody's hanging out, campfire, and tell them, man, that this deer just drank my pee. They all burst into laughter. They said, no way, that didn't happen. That's, it's bullshit. I tell you, it happened. And after I researched that whole spirit animal thing, I realized that fucking deer, that was my spirit animal. Who knew? Thanks for watching.